Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for coming back to another episode of the Leston Ave Project. I'm your host with the most. In the studio today, we're going to try this again, Gary. We've got my boy, Gary's son, Dayton hip-hop artist.
Hello.
This is our second time around. We were in here last week, and we had some technical difficulties. So, unfortunately, we get to come in here and do it again. So, we're happy to have you back. Thanks for coming and making a little bit of time for us.
Anytime.
So, man, how you doing? You doing okay?
I'm doing good.
Nice, man. So, on the Leston Avenue project, we do a thing called One Good Thing, where we talk about one good thing that's going on. What do you got going on? Anything right now that you got going on that's maybe a little bit better than average?
Man, let's see. Honestly, I think it's going to be the same thing still. Honestly, just being able to spend time with my dad.
Yeah.
And I've been working with him a lot lately. So getting the extra time with him is really nice. And I was telling somebody recently too, we live together now. And he was telling me the other day he's really grateful for being able to have the chance to like get this second time. Because, usually like you grow up and then you move out and then you're like out of your parents' life. You don't get to be connected. So like I moved out and then bringing him back in and getting a new house together, he's like always grateful that we have this second time around together back again. Like, most parents don't get that chance,
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is, man, as we grow older, man, the one thing that I've realized is just when you're younger, you don't really you do appreciate it, but you don't once you get older and you're like, man, I'm a single dude.
Yeah.
With no kids.
Yeah.
And just looking back, my dad was always the guy that would go to work, and then he'd come home and he'd always be the coach of every baseball team.
Yeah.
And so not only to take me to practice, but to have a bunch of little kids, it's just nice. You appreciate a little bit more of what your parents do for you when you're younger. And you're like, wow, that's.
He's already taking care of 3 kids, and he signed up to take care of a whole team.
Yeah, I had a bunch of little kids and stuff like that. Just to spend a little bit of time. So. Shout out the parents, man, because they don't get enough recognition, the good ones at least. So it's nice to have that. Me, man, I just found out that I'm doing that TBT basketball tournament. I thought it was next month. Well, I'm going through my email and found out that it's actually at the end of this month. So,
oh, really?
So we're excited. We're gonna spend a day
sooner. What does TBT stand for?
So it's the basketball tournament.
Okay.
And so it's a bunch of like. Guys that maybe played a little bit of time in the NBA so they have like a bunch of like how do I say this, like alumni teams. So it's like I got a bunch of guys that maybe played for Dayton, will form a team and they play sort of like a March Madness style,
that's really cool.
Down to for $1 million. And so there's no UD team this year, sadly, but I'm going to Indianapolis for one day for a regional. Then I'm going to Lexington, and then
you get to travel too. That's really cool.
So in 3 days we'll be in Indy, Lexington, and then Louisville.
I was thinking it was like a Dayton thing when you told me about
it.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, they've got like 5 or 6 different like regionals across America.
Okay.
And they just it's just sort of cool to see maybe guys that you watched growing up. Yeah. And that are out of the NBA or they're done playing. It's
kind of like a professional, like like flying to the hoops or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
so
cool.
It's like kind of like a professional guys that have already been in college and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool just to see that. Plus, I'm a big fan of basketball. Yeah. So it's just really cool just to go and be a part of that and, just see guys compete. So it's just kind of cool. So, but you've been doing music for a while, man. How long have you been doing music?
Okay, so I put out my first song in 2013, and that was the very first thing I ever recorded. It was probably around the same time. I did a feature for somebody. Yeah. And the next day I was like, okay, this is really cool. I want to do one of my own ones. And so I went home and I stayed up the whole night writing the song. And I didn't finish the last little bit of it the night before. And I was so stressed out. And I woke up the next morning and was still trying to cram and couldn't think of anything right before I had to be at the studio. Yeah. And it's crazy too. I'm really thinking about it now because I was just talking about it yesterday too. I walked all the way to my friend's house in the snow. Like it was such a cool experience. And then just getting in there and recording it. So that was 2013. It was my freshman year in high school when I put that out, and been doing it since then. I took a little break the last 2.5 years or so. I just was going through like a crazy patch in my life, me and my girlfriend split up, and then me and my friend fell out, and then my mom passed right after that. And then it was like I was already kind of feeling a little bit burnt out at the time, and not sure what I wanted to do with all of it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, let me just take some time and kind of figure out what I want to do exactly.
Yeah.
And the first year, like, it was good, you know. I took a lot of time and just relaxed and just tried to be a normal person, because my whole life was just like music. I was posting. I couldn't just have normal conversations, you know. And then like the second year, I just kind of started getting stir crazy. Like, okay, I got to start working on something again. Yeah. So I started picking it back up, and now here we are. We're back doing it again. Yes, sir.
Nice, man. And what? Because I know that you said, because I last summer, man. Maybe to not the extent of you, man, because losing your mom and all that kind of stuff is, you know, I'd lost my dog died. I had lost my job. Just like I was at a point in my life where I'm like, oh my God, man, like my whole life is just like, what do you do?
Yeah.
How important was for you to just like mentally sort of like, hey, we got to lock back in, you know, take care of not only Garrison on the outside, but take care of Garrison up in the brain, just a whole spirit. How important was that for you to sort of, get better, I guess?
It was really important. Like, I feel like a big part of all of my relationships and my friendships, that when I was starting to feel like the burnout was like being contested with the music and stuff like that. Like, I would be in a sour mood more often than not, and like I was very focused on like views and numbers, and I just wasn't like being consistent as I should have been, you know. And so it was like the blame was on myself, but I always felt like, you know, I'm not getting the support that I need, and what am I doing wrong, and what do I got to change? And so like it made me think about everything in a negative way. I felt myself becoming more pessimistic, you know. So taking the time to like readjust, and just because I also, like, when I was little, I wanted to make movies. That was always like my biggest thing. I have a huge passion for film, and I always felt like I wanted to take some time to try to work on a screenplay, or just take some time and really focus on that and just mess with the camera. And so when I was like, okay, let me take a break from the music, and I wrote a screenplay, and that was really cool, you know.
Okay.
Like, I had an idea for a really long time, and I finally just got to do it, and I wasn't beating myself up because I hadn't made a song, or hadn't dropped a song, or hadn't posted on Instagram or something. You know, like, it was nice to just enjoy being a normal person and focus on myself.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and not my career, you know.
I know you had mentioned that you're really into like cinema and movies and screenplays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the one thing we talked about last time was your albums, man. They tend to really sort of, when you listen to it in whole, it's kind of like a story or a movie or something like that.
Yeah.
Did your love for movies sort of, I guess, drip into the music aspect of what you do?
Yeah, 100%. I always, from the beginning, I always thought I was going to make movies. Like, that was the one thing I knew I wanted to do. I had a little camera when I was in like 3rd grade, and one of my other friends was big into film too, and he actually shot a short film. Is Colby King, and
shout out Kobe.
Yeah, shout out to him. And I was working on a screenplay at the time, but this is like 3rd grade. I didn't know what a screenplay was. I was really just writing down a story on paper, you know? And like people's names next to the side, like, you say this. And, so that was always something I wanted to do. Then as I got more and more into music, as I got older, I was like, okay, I really want to do like cinematic albums, like, or thematic albums. I love stuff that has a story attached to it. Yeah. And Childish Gambino was one of the biggest, like, first rappers I really was like, okay, this is something that I would love to emulate, you know, like, I really love what he does. Yeah. And he has an album that has a screenplay with it too, and I was like, this is exactly what so this is possible. People do this, you know.
Yeah, seeing somebody else do what you want to do, it's like,
and okay. I at the same time too, like, when I first came up with the idea is when Beyonce surprise dropped the Beyonce album, if you remember that.
Yeah.
And every song had a music video with it, and I was like, how's Beyonce know my idea? I remember that.
Yeah, she's been reading my like text messages and stuff like that.
But all of that kind of started happening. Drake did something like that at some point too, so I was like, see, people, this is a thing, and I really like that, so I'm gonna focus on trying to build a world around, like, you know, the albums and stuff.
Like Gary's World, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's tight. Is there any, so obviously you had mentioned you wouldn't mind doing stuff for like cinematic movies. Is there like maybe a particular movie or a couple movies that you're like, oh my god, this is like the best? They have an awesome soundtrack. What movie soundtrack is like, oh my gosh, this is like super awesome?
What movie soundtrack? That's a really good one. I listen to a lot of like scores as well, so I'll say like a score and a soundtrack. My favorite score is probably Tenet. You know, like the strings and the instruments that play in the background of it. Yeah, like probably Tenet. It's just really good. And soundtrack, Pulp Fiction has a really good soundtrack. Yes. Pulp Fiction has a really good one. There's another one. I can't remember what movie it is. A whole bunch is coming to mind though, but yeah, I would, for right now, I'm gonna just say Pulp Fiction.
I probably, if I had to list, because I'm not knowledgeable on this sort of aspect of music, but for me, the Goofy movie was always just the songs in that was just awesome.
That's great.
And then I love the Inception soundtrack with was it Hans Zimmer or whatever his name is?
Yeah,
I think he did.
That's another Christopher Nolan one. Tenet as well. Yeah, all of Christopher Nolan's movies.
He does. He's fire. And then Dune 2 I thought was pretty nice little soundtrack as well. And I'm learning as I get older to really appreciate the music and movies, and you go back and you actually listen to it without the video to it, and you're like, man, this is just this is beautiful stuff, man.
It's also like really good focus music. The biggest thing that got me into, because I had like the Harry Potter soundtrack, like the icon in like Spider-Man, like the iconic ones that we loved as kids, you know. But I saw a post on Threads or something one time, and it was like, add these albums to a playlist for good focus concentration music. And so I added like all the Christopher Nolan ones, like Stranger Things soundtracks, a whole bunch of them. And anytime I'm like writing or like just trying to sit down and focus and do something like editing or something, you know, like I'll put that on and just shuffle, and it's actually like, it really does. You feel like you're in the movie working. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really cool.
I've done the same thing, man, where like you said, you're just working and you're just trying to focus, or you're riding, or maybe try to make a piece of content. Yeah. And you're like, oh, this would sound really cool with this particular event or clip or whatever that I'm trying to do or use or whatever. Yeah. And just a different aspect that I normally 5 years ago probably wouldn't even want to consider putting on.
Exactly.
But now that you listen, you're like, oh my gosh, this I guess becoming more of a creative. You're like different avenues of things to check out and stuff like that. So but just some random questions I wanted to throw your way. I know you've got a studio at the house, but if you're going to a different studio or you're heading back to the house, you're about to record, maybe record some music, you stop by the gas station, you pick up 2 snacks and a drink. What are those 2 snacks and a drink?
Drink. All right. So stopping at the gas station, I was going to say Arizona green tea, but I know I have one at the house. I don't need to stop and pick one up. So I'll give a pass on that one. It's either going to, depending on how I'm feeling that day, if I'm in a healthy mood or if I'm in a, like pigging out mood, it depends on the day, but, either Naked, like the green machines, or if it's if I'm not caring that day, Barks Red Cream Soda. that's the one.
The cream soda is like a special treat that I drink like, I don't know, maybe once every 3 or 4 months. Yes. And you're like, you don't even really want it or like hunt up for it, but for me it'd be one of those things where you're out there and you're like, what do I want? And you see it and you're just like, that's it.
Yeah, you see that red soda, it's like, no, that's different.
I gotta get it.
Snacks, so like the healthy route, we're going Cliff Bar, Nutri-Grain bar. Yeah. Those, like, if I'm working with my dad in the mornings, or if I get a little break at work at Roadhouse, I'll go and I'll get some of those. I know it'll give me a little bit of energy. If we go in the other route, a Heath bar, and either either the trolley eggs. Have you ever had a trolley eggs before? A lot of gas stations don't have them though. Yeah. So it's hard for me to say that definitively. So we're gonna go with the Grippos.
Yes.
Grippos. Shout out to Dayton. You know.
Yeah. Grippos, man. I saw what was it? I saw some. I can't even remember. It was maybe like some sort of cheddar or something with Grippos. Mm-hmm. But it was just I was like, what? And I literally bought them and I ate them and I wasn't even hungry. Yeah. But I was like, man, it's just Yeah,
that one's special. I've sent a couple friends in different states bags of Grippos because, like, you know, like they don't know. Yeah. I'll be in Discord talking about the Grippos. They're like, what are those? I'm like, all right, I'm going to send you a bag. Don't worry.
Anytime we have, because me and Gary both work at the same place during the day. And whenever we get, like, guests that come in that are from out of town, and they're like, oh, yeah, we're staying at the hotel across the street. We're here for a day or two. And I'm like, look, you got to go to Marion's Pizza. Yep. Get you a Marion's Pizza. And I said, then you got to go to the gas station and get you some Grippos. I'm like, they got a whole little list of Grippos. And they're like,
that's a perfect combination.
What's Grippos? And I'm like, the best chips you'll ever have. Yeah. They're super seasoned, super good.
And it's like a different kind of seasoning. I don't know how to explain it, but the way it's cooked, it's just... It's perfect. It's like a powdered donut, but a chip.
Yeah. It's like the one thing I will say on a lot of chips is sometimes you feel that with the mass production, the seasoning seems to not be there. Yeah. And with them, it's just like they over season almost. Yeah. And it's like, thank you. I really appreciate that. So it's nice to just get a good full bag of Grippos.
Yeah, they're dusty in the best way.
Super nice. So shout out Grippos if you ever want to sponsor us. We'd really appreciate it. And we can give all of our guests Grippos and stuff like that. So, but I know we got some new music coming out. Yes. Or we're rebranding some new music, some new rebranded music. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so during the break, first of all, so I used to go just by my full name, Garrison Collier. Yeah. And I always knew I wanted to change it because it's so long, you know, like I'm on stage, you know, imagine having to try to look it up or something like that. Yeah. You didn't catch my name and fly by. It's like GARRISONCOL. Yeah. I lost you already. Yeah. And so... But I never knew what would be good for a name. All the years of rapping, I've thought about it, you know, and like a name never came to mind. Everything always seemed corny. But I was talking with my friend a couple months ago, and he shot by like the idea of Gary's son. Yeah. And that's really cool to me because, one, my dad's name's Gary, so I'm Gary's son. That's where my name comes from. So that's huge.
How does he like it?
Yeah, he loves that to death. So big lore dump on me. I was supposed to be named Mackenzie, right? My mom picked out the name. My dad, I guess, was just going with it. And she heard the name Garrison Hurst on TV watching football. And then she was like, that's a really cool name. And she said it slow and heard it. And then my dad came home. She told him, and he's like, oh, yep, nope, that's it. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. So now here I am, 27 years later. And so I thought Gary's son was cool, but I've never seen like the comma and the names. I wasn't at the time thinking about it. And I was like, but I don't know, the comma kind of looks weird. That's not like a real thing that people do. And he's like, Tyler, the Creator. And I was like, oh yeah, that's it. I'm sold. Yeah. I'm sold. Yeah. So we're going by Gary's son now. And before the break and everything, or kind of during it, I had to take all of my music down. And it's kind of something that I knew I would be doing something similar to at some point, because I knew I wanted to take down at least like the earliest songs, or like some that aren't my favorite that I just posted at the time, just because I wanted to have stuff out. And so now it gave me a free chance to start over, kind of, and
like really a free slate,
the way I want. Yeah,
with a free slate with the knowledge that you have now.
Yeah, exactly. And I seen somebody I follow on Instagram had posted once, like, you know, too many artists nowadays are too scared to do a rebrand, you know, like, and it's something simple like that could change the whole thing. So that was always in the back of my mind. And so now I've taken my favorite of the old songs that I had, re-releasing those. I have 18 of them. We're splitting it up into 3 EPs, and I'm going to get those all out on weekly releases. I started on July 2nd with 9 out of 10. That's one of my favorite songs of all time.
That's a banger, man.
I love that one so much, man. Yeah. And that was last Wednesday. This Wednesday coming up, we got another one, Sunny Days. Another single after that, then the EP, and we're just gonna repeat that 2 more times.
Yeah.
I already got all of that ready to go. Everything's going good so far. Then after that, we're getting to the new music. I've been working on a lot of music before I started releasing again.
Yeah.
And I have a good chunk of songs, and I have a project already mostly done, and starting to work on another project now. I have a new idea for it. So
yeah,
once we get to the new music, I'm gonna do every 2 weeks, and so pretty much I got the whole rest of this year planned out, and it's all lined up and almost ready to go. So expect new music at least every 1 to 2 weeks from me for the rest of the year. I'm gonna take a little break during December just because I'm gonna still put out a song. Me and my dad have a Christmas song that we made a couple years ago, and every single year we link up at the beginning of the year. We're like, okay, we're gonna work on that Christmas song and make sure we get it out this year. And then Christmas rolls around. We still haven't done it, but now we live together, so it's like and he's been in his singing bag lately. He's been going to karaoke real consistently and really working on his voice, taking instructions and lessons. Like, he used to be in a band. He toured when he was younger, and it was like a cover band. He's been to different countries, and he was like the lead singer. I've seen videos of him like doing a backflip and landing in the splits.
Oh my! What?
Like Gary used to get down. It's crazy.
Well, that's cool, man, and I bet you that he is super just happy to see you doing something that he also loves as well.
Yeah.
And just pursuing it and just getting after it. And he sounds good, man. Yeah. I mean, I was there a couple years back for your birthday at that one bar, and he sang, and I'm like, dang.
Yeah.
Like, Big Gary got some vocals, man.
Yeah, that's where I get it from. I don't have the pipes the way he does, but I've been going to karaoke with him and working on singing too, and I got a good like 2 or 3 songs that I can do really well, so I'm excited about that. I'm probably gonna do a cover at the show later this month, so like that's gonna be, I'm excited.
That's nice, man.
Try to sing like Pops.
Well, I know you've got a show coming up here. Was it July 30th?
July 30th, Wednesday.
July 30th, and it's going to be up here at I'll let you break it down for me, but I know it's a big show at a great venue, which I'm a big fan of. I've seen, we had a podcast fest there a couple years back. We had a bunch of podcasters come in from around the Dayton area. It's a great venue. That's in the heart of Dayton, Ohio. Break it down because you got some super talented people there. Yeah. Some people who I follow on social media and never had the chance to meet. Hopefully we'll get them in here for the show. But break it down for us, man. What we got going on?
So July 30th, Wednesday, we got a show coming up at the Bright Side in Dayton. Yep. It's for people that live around here to know the area. It's the corner of 3rd Street and Kiwi. Yep. Right? Is that right? I think I'm pretty positive that's right. It's like a wedding venue / music venue. That's where they do Battle of the Bands and a bunch of other really cool stuff here in Dayton. And so it's really nice to be able to have our own show here. This is our first one that we booked ourselves at least. And we got a dope lineup. It's me, Trey Posey, Icicle, Owen Phillips, Jay Tolb, Montana, and Tyrant. All of them are like very unique in their own ways. Right. Trey's really similar to me. We talk about it amongst ourselves. We kind of, in a way, we got 3 duos, and then Icicle's gonna be like the glue that brings us all together.
He's sick, dude.
Yeah, Icicle's so raw. Yeah, I'm really excited to be doing another show with him too. He makes the beats live on stage, and then he'll perform on top of them, and he's always making like loops and all that kind of stuff on Instagram and posting all that kind of stuff. He's a really cool dude. He's just so down to earth. So I'm really excited to be doing another show with him.
Yeah, I remember when you had told me the first time you were doing a show, I almost didn't even know he was from Dayton. Yeah. And I had came across him, like what he does with the camera and the loops and this and that. Yeah. And I was like, I thought he was like some famous dude already. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I'm excited to really see him. Of course, Trey, I'm a big fan of already. Yeah. The other guys I'm looking forward to just seeing for the first time. Yeah. Which I know they'll put in a good show. If you are putting your name on it, then it's already written. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. I know we had mentioned the last time we were here before our technical difficulties. Now as a knucklehead, we had talked about our Taco Bell orders. Yeah. I want you to let everybody know. I'll break mine down first, man. Whenever I go to Taco Bell, because we do this every episode, where I ask my guests what they get at Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
I get I think it's number 2 or number 3, just 3 soft tacos. Throw on a Dorito Loco taco, Baja Blast, because you got to get the Baja Blast, dude. And then if I'm feeling frisky, or maybe had a couple cocktails, we throw on a chicken quesadilla, man. Maybe.
Okay.
We'll see. I might sub the chicken quesadilla for the Dorito Loco.
Yeah.
But it just really depends. But that's what I get, man. When you go to Taco Bell, whether for lunch or with your dad or late night after a studio session, what does Gary's son get at Taco Bell?
Man, the biggest thing I've been stuck on lately is the chicken chalupa supremes.
Yep.
I'll get one of those. I'll get the chicken enchilada burrito, and just like you said, if I'm feeling a little frisky, I'll get the chicken quesadilla. I just did that the other night. We was at the bar for your birthday. Yeah, your birthday. We were all at the bar. As soon as I get there, I take one shot. I'm like, yeah, I need food. Yeah. And the Taco Bell's right next door, so yeah, I pulled up and I was like, you know what? You get the chicken quesadilla. So in your exact words, I was feeling frisky.
Yeah. And the funny thing was, for those who weren't there, my birthday was this past weekend. Gary was kind enough to come and hang out with me for a little bit.
Yes, sir.
And we're sitting there playing darts, and I turn around. Gary's got that brown bag with a Taco Bell. I'm like, boy, what? you snuck out here and got some Taco Bell, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to do the same thing when I leave. So it's nice that Taco Bell knew what they were doing when they were putting it right next to that bar.
Yep.
So it was pretty good, and we're just excited that Gary was there. We're excited Gary's here today. And we appreciate you, buddy. We look forward to the 30th.
Yes, sir.
Look forward.
Did I say the time? It's doors at 7:30.
Okay.
Music starts at 8, and the show goes to 11.
Okay, and
Can't remember if I said that.
Are they able to get tickets pre-sale?
Yes, pre-sale tickets. Almost every single one of us has in our link in the bio.
Yeah.
You can get the tickets early, $12 pre-sale, $20 at the door. So
okay,
you want to make sure you get your tickets early. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
and get them
if you're listening to this, or like we did in the previous episode, if you're listening, get your tickets pre-sale. I'm gonna have Gary plug up a social media so you can get with him and get it pre-sale. So Gary, now you've got the mic, you've got the camera. Go ahead and plug your socials. Apple Music, whatever, and just do your thing, man.
Yeah, so come and check me out. It's at Gary's Son, at Garrison Collier. Either one of those, you should find me on there. Same thing on Apple Music and SoundCloud. It's going to be Gary space Son. I put the comma on there, but the comma didn't pop up on the Apple Music. We'll figure it out. But Gary's Son, we got 9 out of 10 out now. We got Sunny Days coming out on Wednesday. Look forward to that. Make sure you check me out. Follow, subscribe, like, share, all the stuff. Stay along with the journey, man.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, y'all. Thanks so much for tuning in to another wonderful episode of the Leston Avenue Project. We appreciate it. I appreciate it. Go check out my boy, Gary's son, Garrison. We look forward to hearing you guys back. A little bit of feedback and seeing you June 30th at the Bright Side in Dayton, Ohio. You guys have a great day. We'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.